Bruce comes from a long line of political and religious leaders in his home country. His great-grandfather was king, a position that was passed on to his grandfather and now his father. And for as long as he can remember, he has been taught he was predestined to take after his father as the next king. So from when he could barely walk, he was being prepared. And at barely 12, he carried out activities assigned to him by his father on behalf of the crown. Sitting, bespectacled in one of their luxurious cafes built to serve the 1% of the richest people in the world in Switzerland, Bruce sits, thinking about the responsibility that awaits him once he finishes college. At 20, Bruce has had no life outside of anything that prepares him to take on the task he has been predestined to carry out as king. Thoughts of another life often finds its way to his mind, but he never yields to them. These thoughts are what drove him to the cafe in the first place. He needed to clear his head after having a rather long conversation with his dad. A few minutes later, he stood up, mind cleared, and paid for his cup of coffee, but with a sense of determination. "I am the chosen one," he mutters to himself as he walks out of the cafe. Then there is Anthony, born in the poorest city and probably the most dangerous neighborhood. Statistically, the number of young men who get to have a life outside of gang activity in Anthony's neighborhood is less than 2%. And when it comes to education and becoming anything, that number is much lower. So, in essence, being born into the very conditions Anthony was born in sets you up for failure radically. One could say Anthony was predestined to end up a nobody. However, Anthony's life tells a different story. A graduate married to the love of his life, never taken drugs, was never a part of any gang, and has had no run-ins with the law. He sits, arms folded as he listens intently to a speaker highlighting all that he has become and has achieved so far. The audience is quiet, with gasps of unbelief punctuating all the speaker was saying. Anthony looked at the crowd teary-eyed. They were the reason he was here. They were the reason why he has decided to run as mayor. His goal was simple: to help his people see that irrespective of the faith their background assigns to them, they are the captains of their own ship, and they could become whatever they set their mind to be. Two stories, each one highlighting how the individual perceptions of reality often ends up affecting how we live our lives. What does The Matrix, The Legend of the Seeker, and Superman have in common? More or less, these movies feature characters who are faced with the greatest challenge of their lives, having to accept a predestined role crucial to the defeat of evil. These stories make for some fine entertainment, however they are a reflection of a belief system and its antithesis. The heroes often find themselves having to accept whatever prophecy was told about them or attempt to carve out a different path for themselves. The same is true with every single person alive. There are many who try to live up to the expectations set up by others, life, society, or a cult regarding what they are meant to be. Then there are others who could care less if an entire Bible is written about them. Their own goal is to fashion out an independent story for themselves. This paints to us the grave importance of predestination and how we see it affect our lives. So, based on both Bruce and Anthony's story, below are how the perception of predestination affects our personality, values, and life generally. 1. It influences personal identity. Bruce's belief in his predestined role shapes his identity, making him see himself primarily as a future king. Conversely, Anthony's rejection of a predestined path of failure allows him to forge a unique identity, one defined by resilience and achievement. 2. It affects motivation levels. Bruce's acceptance of his predestined role as king keeps him motivated to meet his responsibilities and fulfill his family's expectations. For Anthony, the belief that he can change his destiny motivates him to strive for success and break the cycle of poverty and crime. 3. It determines perceived control over life. Bruce feels a strong sense of duty and obligation, believing his path is set and beyond his control. Anthony, on the other hand, feels empowered, believing he can shape his future through his choices and actions. 4. It guides career choices. Bruce's predestined role as king leaves him little room to explore other career options or personal interests. Anthony, free from a predetermined path, chooses a career in public service to inspire and uplift his community, demonstrating how perceived destiny influences career decisions. 5. It shapes coping mechanisms. Bruce copes with the pressure of his predestined role by reaffirming his commitment to his duties. Anthony uses his belief in self-determination to overcome obstacles and inspire others, showing that perceptions of destiny influence how individuals cope with life's challenges. 6. It shapes interpersonal relationships. Beliefs about predestination can influence how we interact with others. Those who view life as predetermined may be more passive in relationships, accepting whatever dynamics unfold. On the other hand, individuals who believe in free will and personal agency might actively work on improving relationships, resolving conflicts, and building stronger connections. For Bruce, the relationships he forms are influenced by his royal obligations and future role. He might prioritize alliances that benefit his future kingship. Anthony, in contrast, builds relationships based on mutual support and shared aspirations, actively seeking to uplift those around him. 7. It affects mental health. Our understanding of predestination can significantly impact our mental health. Believing in a fixed destiny might lead to feelings of helplessness, anxiety, or depression, especially when faced with adverse circumstances. In contrast, believing in the power to change our destiny can foster a sense of empowerment, optimism, and resilience, promoting better mental health and well-being. Bruce might experience stress and pressure from the expectations placed upon him, while Anthony's belief in self-determination helps him maintain a positive outlook and mental resilience. 8. It shapes social and cultural norms. Perceptions of predestination can also influence broader social and cultural norms. Societies that emphasize predestination may reinforce rigid class structures and limit social mobility. Conversely, societies that value free will and self-determination might encourage innovation, social change, and equality. Bruce's society likely places a strong emphasis on tradition and hierarchy, while Anthony's efforts as mayor aim to challenge and transform the social norms of his community, promoting equality and opportunity. 9. It impacts educational and professional pursuits. Bruce's education and professional development are tailored to prepare him for his future role as king, limiting his exposure to other fields and interests. Anthony's belief in shaping his own destiny motivates him to pursue education and career opportunities that defy the limitations of his background. This demonstrates how perceptions of predestination influence the pursuit of knowledge and professional growth. 10. It influences societal contributions. The belief in predestination can affect how individuals contribute to society. Bruce's sense of duty to his future role drives him to fulfill responsibilities that benefit his kingdom. Anthony, inspired by his belief in self-determination, contributes to society by running for mayor and working to improve his community. Their different perceptions of predestination shape how they give back and impact the world around them. So, what are the realities about the perception of predestination? Multiple perspectives exist. There isn't a universally accepted interpretation of predestination. Different people from diverse cultures hold various views based on their unique experiences and belief systems. Beliefs aren't fixed. We are dynamic beings, so our belief system is capable of change. We can challenge existing concepts and accept new perspectives based on new information and experiences. Perception matters. There may be different viewpoints regarding an issue, and to each perception about predestination, there are real-life effects. Our perception of predestination profoundly influences our lives. By examining the stories of Bruce and Anthony, we see ourselves in them. Our personal experiences and cultural backgrounds shape our beliefs about fate and free will. Whether we attribute our successes and challenges to powers beyond us or see them as the result of our choices, consequently, this perception affects how we navigate life's journey. The understanding of how our views on predestination filter reality, shape beliefs, impact actions, influence resilience, guide life planning, and shape interpersonal relationships is crucial. These perceptions not only affect our mental health, but also determine how we approach setbacks, set goals, and interact with others. More importantly, recognizing that multiple perspectives exist, that beliefs can change, and that perception matters allows us to make informed decisions and adapt our views as we encounter new information and experiences. In other words, we become flexible and open to changing our views. By critically examining our perceptions, we can find balance and empowerment, whether we lean towards the idea of predestination or embrace the concept of free will. If you want to know more about how the impact of the environment on predetermination, why not click that subscribe button below and activate the notification? We will surely keep you abreast of recent discoveries in the study of genetics and psychology. Thanks for watching this video, and join us again in the next one for more thrilling discoveries.